anybody that is watching this later on, we are going to be quickly double checking to see. There we go. So the sound is working. Again, for anybody that doesn't know, done one of these lives a couple of weeks ago and it didn't work. The sound was not working. I was convinced it wasn't, but hey ho. Here we are now. Let me just find my notes. Perfect. There we are. And we'll start straight from the beginning. So have you ever wondered what actually happens before you go and start posting, whether it's for your client, whether it's for yourself? How can you optimize your profile? Well, today I'm going to be running you through a live case study that I'm actually carrying out right now. Now, the idea of this is I'm going to build up more social proof. The idea is for me to sort of extract as much content within this case study I'm running as possible. So there'll be, actual YouTube long form videos broken down into sort of sections. I'm recording every single day. I'm doing things like, screen recordings. I'm doing actual face recordings to show people what I'm doing, screenshots, before, afters, the different testing variables that I'm trying to do. And the good thing is with these case studies, we've set it up in a way where I'll be doing the pre-setup, I'll be doing 2 weeks organic, and then I'll be doing 2 weeks organic and paid. So I can show you exactly how I structure different things, how I use the organic as a testing field for the paid, how we use the paid to sort of leverage already performing content and that sort of thing. So it's not just sort of theory now, this is exactly what I'm doing in real time to show you guys how you can apply it to your own business accounts, how you can apply it to your own personal brands, etc, etc. So as I mentioned, this is week 1 of these. Usually what I tend to do is I'll do 2 lives per week, and they're usually around the trends, social media marketing trends, what's going on, how you can use it, that sort of thing. I'll be splitting it up over the next probably 4 to 5 weeks. I'd imagine it's going to be, because I'll probably do like a post-production and sort of pre-launch before all the videos start dropping, before all the long form videos start dropping. I've actually been nicely edited and that sort of thing of the structures of what I'll be doing. So you'll still get your trend runs, you'll still get what's going on in the news right now, how you can apply it to your business and that sort of thing. And also this in real time case study of how I am taking a local business based in Birmingham and how I am running their social media account. So how I'm setting it up, how I'm engaging, how I'm using their DMs, how I'm keeping up with what's going on within the local area to then run their account and get more traffic through the door rather than more traffic to the website or more traffic through the email list. This is literal traffic through the door. This is people walking into the business via social media, and that is exactly what I'll be playing through today and going through the pre-setup framework of just exactly how I sort of speak to the client, how I pitch it to them, how I go from there. Where are your thoughts on Socrates? Not a clue what's going on in terms of Socrates. I don't know what that is, what's going on. If it's to do with local news, wrong person, because I don't really pay too much attention to it, if I'm being completely honest. If there was another incident where we had to wear masks, I ain't gonna be the guy to ask. I'll stick to no, I'm definitely not Muslim. I am a practicing Catholic, so yeah, so that's ultimately how it'll be going. Obviously, I'll be jumping back and forth between the case study of how I'm running things, what I'm doing, jumping in the chats, any questions you guys have along the way of, how I come up with these ideas, how I test them. Catholic, Christian, we pretty much cut from the same cloth to a degree. And then I'll be going through it exactly sort of, if you've got a local business or if you're running your own personal brand, you can take this application and apply it to yourself. If you're looking to start creating content, if you're a local business setting up in a local area and you're looking to set up your own social media and you want a nice system to follow, you don't have to track everything that I'm doing. Obviously, I always sort of pitch this to clients or local businesses. It's my job to know all of this stuff. If you wanted to do it yourself, you wouldn't have to do it to the scale, but you're not going to see the results. And that's ultimately what we're there to do. We want results. We want your social media to be growing, and we want your traffic for the door to be growing. We want your money to be growing, because there's no point in you spending money on me if it's not bringing you in more money, because none of us do that. None of us would spend money if we didn't think it was going to make us more money, is the main thing. I don't know what we're on about there in the chat. Religion and politics and that sort of stuff ain't my go-to. If I don't know too much about it, I won't really have an opinion on it because I just don't. That's just how I roll. So when it comes to setting up the account, what we're looking for is clarity, consistency, and how we're going to sort of scale before the launch. So we want to look at what is the brand, what is the business. Can I tell what the business is the second I log into the account? Can I tell what the business is as soon as I click on the profile and start taking a look at what's going on? If not, then I need to change that immediately. That's the first thing that needs to be changed because it should be easy. People should know exactly what you do, what you offer, and where you offer it to. And ultimately, how they can get in touch. Is it a case of walking in? Is it a case of dropping a DM? Is it a case of you've got an email sign up or you're going to call them? They need to know what the business is and how you're going to help them, whether you're providing a service or whether you sell a product, things like bars, florists, anything like that. You want people to know, if they walk into your store, they know exactly what you do. If they jump onto your social media page, they need to know exactly what you do. So that's how I sort of first go through the clarity side of things, consistency, the branding, the colour theme, the font. What vibe do you get and what vibe does the owner want to portray with their brand? That's another key side of it, is because if they're very down to earth, very local, love the community feel, and you're there posting all these high-end, ultra edited videos with these professional sort of like transitions and everything like that, it's going to feel off-brand. And the following that they've already built up, providing that they have been building up a following, or they've been posting on social media at some point, you're gonna throw them off guard. They're gonna think like, oh, okay, this isn't somebody who's actually part of their team or part of their business. So you want to find out the vibe before where I tend to start, and where I'd imagine most marketers and most managers want to be starting, especially nowadays, is prompts. What prompts are you using? Because prompts can save you so much time. If you're not using them, I'd really want to be asking the question of why, and what is putting you off from using certain prompts with whatever tool you use. I'm a big advocate for ChatGPT. It's literally like my right arm now. It does so much for me. I have prompts and I have a prompt library that I will run through for certain aspects of the page. So I can run through it in terms of SEO, I can run through it in terms of design, I can run through it in terms of content, engagement. I've literally got a step-by-step prompt list that is continuously getting better, because I feel the way that everything's moving forward, how you might focus on one section of your business, like your sales side of things, and how you can improve your sales, how you can improve your service, prompts are going to be a part of it. Prompts are the sort of intelligence assets of the modern world. People who have got good prompts that get them exactly what they need to get from ChatGPT, Claude, whatever it is, they're going to be miles ahead of people who are just hoping. You hear different reviews on this. I know some people would rather just have a conversation with ChatGPT. I don't see the problem with that if you don't know exactly what you're looking for. But if you've got a prompt that you've used it multiple times and you know it's going to get you results, save the prompt, have it in a prompt library or something like that in a Google Doc, or I wouldn't recommend a piece of paper, it's going to be a nightmare, but anywhere where you can save that prompt and you can reference it time and time again, I'd highly recommend it, because the prompt list that I have is ever growing and always being improved. So there's certain things that the prompts provide me that I'm not happy with, that I'd rather change. I'll go into the actual prompt, I'll make those changes to it, so then the next time I use it, it's just going to be getting better and better and more streamlined. Again, similar thing with GPTs. If you want to spend the time setting up a GPT, I know I do it for a couple of different aspects of my social media content and for my business. GPTs can be a massive time saver. A little bit more intricate in terms of there's a lot more that can go wrong, and sometimes it will just give you a randomly different answer than what it's given you the past 5 times. You can just go in and change it. It doesn't take too long. Just don't get hooked on spending another hour on something that you've already spent 2 hours on. So that's where we start with the prompt side of things. So yeah, just keeping it all in a document, Notion, dashboard, whatever it is, and go from there. Now, when you're speaking to the client, and a major thing, or when you're designing your own social media, you want to be asking yourself what your goal is. That's realistically, you want to ask yourself that before anything. Why do you want to grow on social media? Is your business suitable for social media? I'd argue 99.9% of businesses suitable for social media? And if so, what's the goals? Do you just want growth? Do you just want brand awareness? Do you want to build up a community and so? Do you want to refer people to other aspects of your business like email? Do you want walk-ins? Do you want orders online to your website? There's so many different aspects of your social media and how it's that starting base of your funnel and how you can start getting people to slowly work down the funnel of your business. You want to know the goal from the beginning. It's no good trying to hit 5 or 6 or 7 different targets, because they're going to have little nuances. There's going to be little ways, little differences in like CTAs and things like that that you're going to want to make sure you're changing. So knowing the goal is the biggest one. I'd say do that from the very beginning before you start posting, before you start changing the profile. Know what the goal is and know what direction you need to go in to start hitting that goal. Then of course you've got like the avatar. So who is your ideal audience? Best thing is with a local business, if you've been established for a number of years and you know the average person that's coming into your business to make purchases, you roughly know exactly who you're targeting. And you're going to have a good understanding of what their pain points are. What's the biggest issue they face within your niche that you can help solve or that you can make easier for them with a social media presence? Because if the biggest pain that they've got is they don't know coming into stores because it might be a nightmare for them. It might be difficult for them to shop and find exactly what they want. You've got a social media presence that you can then optimize for them to find, to go onto an online store to get it delivered directly to the house. Things like that. Of course, restaurants, bars, it's going to be completely different. The big drive there is walk-ins. But then you can also have a delivery service. They might have fell in love with your food. They might have been out once, but they don't want to go there every single time because they don't like the drive or they don't like the location. Again, you can drive them and let them know that you're doing a delivery service. So finding their core pain points, why have so many customers come to you so many times, and how can you speak to that individual customer through your social media and find out a way to deliver more for them, even if they do both, even if they order online and come into the actual website into the actual business itself. Now onto the profile and branding setup. Now, there's 2 different aspects to these. The profile needs to be targeted for SEO, especially if it's a local business. You want SEO from top to bottom. You want it to be impossible for people to be putting into searches anything related to your niche without you at least coming up on an Instagram search bar or a TikTok search bar, because you should be putting those keywords and putting those sort of little tactics into your content from the start. That's the profile side of things. Of course, the branding side of things is going to be the look, is going to be the feel, is going to be the vibe. It's going to be, again, nuance to what your local business is about. A florist might be completely different to a tattoo studio, but then at the same time, they could be exactly the same and have the same flow to it. That's going to be solely dependent on the business. I would try your very best to match the profile, the social media setup of the profile to what people are going to feel when they walk into the business. So if they've got red lettering, try and make sure that the branding on social media is red lettering, because if the whole idea of this is to get people walking through the door, they want to feel like they've seen your content so many times and they rock up to your business. It's basically the same thing. Your profile is your online storefront. No matter what platform it is your online storefront. Some platforms are a little bit better at helping you design this, such as Instagram. You've obviously got your profile, you've got your bio, you've got your highlights, you've got the grid, everything like that. YouTube can be a little bit different. You've only really got the PFP, the banner, thumbnails from there, but you still want it to feel the same. If you've got a set color code, try and make everything based around that set color code. If you've got set fonts, set styling, set vibes, set music, whatever it is that can make your profile and make your profile feel like your actual business, try and implement it from the start. And then, as I mentioned, just tying in with those SEO tactics as well. Location keywords, niche keywords. If you've got a certain product or something that you're well known for within the local area, trying to tie that in there. Because again, when people are searching, if you're known for something like your late night pizza and beer nights or something like that, make sure you're putting that on your profile. Make sure that there's keywords for that in there, because if people are searching it within the local area, they'll be able to pick it up and they'll be able to find it. So of course, auditing the account from the start, going through, finding keywords. again, this is where the prompts come in, because prompts can find you some good keywords. They can even give you a massive list of keywords, and then you can sort of swap and change those every 7 to 14 to 30 days, see what brings you in the best results. I'd wholly recommend swapping around the keywords at least every 30 days anyway, just so it's not being sort of rinsed and repeat too much, and you can test it out from there. And then, of course, the final aspect of your profile is the CTA. Too many businesses will just stick a link, or not even have a link in the bio, not have an address, not have any way for people to be able to find them and do anything with their account, that they could just be missing sales left, right, and centre. And you see this a lot with personal brands, but local businesses, it's even more focused, because if you're posting on social media and you manage to target your local area, and then you manage to target somebody on your road, but then they do not know what the next step is, whether it's to DM you, whether it's to click the link and they can book something, whether it's to comment a certain keyword, you've done the hardest part of getting the top funnel content out there, getting it targeted to your local area, finding people that you want from that local area. And now, what have you done? You've not told them what to do next. So then they've swiped, or they go on to the next one, or they pass your business by without even knowing about it. Make sure the CTAs are incorporated within the bio, within your stories, within your actual sort of written post, reel post, comment, anything that you can use as a CTA. Be sure to be using it. Of course, engage meaningfully, but remember to call to action. Remember, the whole reason that you're doing this is to convert, and you do that by asking people for the sale. Don't be scared of it, because if you start getting scared of it, you'll start never doing it. If you start never doing it, you'll be wasting all your time on social media to have 10,000 followers and 0 sales. And what's the point? You've spent all that time, all that money for absolutely nothing. Now, when you hear the terms SEO, going on to the SEO content ideas and tools, most people just go Google. Anybody who's paying attention to the social media market or social media space will know that SEO is riddled into everything now. Lots of Instagram, YouTube's always been massive on it, even LinkedIn, TikTok. A lot of people will actually search on TikTok before they search in Google now, especially if they're looking for a certain product or a certain trend. These are the places that people are searching. So don't feel that you just need to focus on your website, and because you've got all these keywords and all of this metadata inside of your website, now you're okay. I'm not saying you're not. Your website might bring you a lot of traffic, especially if you're doing paid ads, especially if you manage to get ranked. But if you can then incorporate it into your Instagram, you can incorporate it into your TikTok, your YouTube, whatever platform you're using, you're doubling your chances in getting found. So they found you via Instagram, they've gone into your website's already ranked, it's already flowing really nicely. You're going to benefit more. SEO is not something that's going to just disappear with the likes of ChatGPT or AI. It's going to be more focused, because people are going to get those results from ChatGPT. So making sure that you are giving yourself and your business the best chance to show up is a massive, massive priority. The content pillars. So now you've optimized the profile, you've set it all up, you've got your base layer, you've got your. So for me right now, with the case study that I'm doing, it's Instagram and TikTok. So TikTok, you're a little bit limited. It's mainly your profile picture, your bio. There's a couple of little things on the back end that you can do, and then each content. Instagram, there is loads. You've got your PFP, you've got your username, you've got your banner name, you've got your highlights, you've got your bio, you've got pinned comments, you've got the sort of metadata behind all of that you can then use. Once all of that's set up, you want to be focusing on the content pillars that you're going to be posting. Of course, one of them has to be conversion. One of them has to be asking for the CTA. Are you coming in today? Do you want to book a table? Do you want to click on our link and check out the place, actually have like a virtual tour, or whatever it is that you have provided to get people, again, further down the funnel. Just always have that funnel in mind. If you're grabbing all of that attention, where's the attention going next? Are you just grabbing the attention just so you've got a pretty number on your follower page or on your follower account, or are you going to put it to use? So you're going to actually run them further down the funnel. And of course, just making sure that the content that you're producing is 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100 targeted towards your niche. I'm not saying you can't mix it up. I'm not saying you can't have different things, because that is how top of funnel works. But if you're a restaurant, you do want pretty much all your content to be focused around the restaurant. It doesn't have to always include food or bars, but always center it around that thing so people know what is going on, so people can understand exactly what's happening from there. And of course, you can leverage ChatGPT, you can leverage Claude, you can leverage Grok. There's tons of tools out there that will help you come up with these content ideas. And my big thing with using any AI tool, especially when it comes to the LLMs, is don't just look at it as you follow it step by step. It can at least give you a guideline. It can at least give you some direction of where to start, of where you want to go to. And that's what I would tend to use it for. That's why I've got the base prompts that I've got, because I input the prompts, especially for my client right now. I input the prompts, it gives me some ideas, it gives me a starting direction, and then I add my own spin onto it. I add my own elements onto it. If I need to use AI further, I will. If not, I can get to work. I've at least got a direction. It stops the overthinking. That's the biggest thing I've noticed since taking on this client, is it just stops the overthinking. You don't have to worry about what's gonna be done next. You can sort of stick it into AI and it will send you on your way. Quick touch point I want to mention, or quick topic I want to mention, that I don't think many social media managers and social media marketers use too much when looking after local business accounts, is outreach and engagement. Now, outreach, again, if it's not a product or if it's not a direct digital product that you're trying to sell, you can still outreach to local businesses and to other local influencers about collaborations. So don't waste that chance to start speaking to other people. I'll come up with the idea of what I want, what I think is going to benefit that client the best. I don't think it's going to benefit the client trying to reach out and dragging people into the door, because if they're on the other side of the city, or if they're on the other side of the country, the other side of the world, it's not going to benefit them. Whereas reaching out to local influencers, local creators, local businesses about collaboration posts, about helping each other out, about, what have you found about this, just starting that community engagement, that's massive. And then of course the engagement list, I started this with my own account, and I always tend to do this with client accounts as well. It's just starting up a big engagement list, picking anywhere between 20 to 40 accounts or profiles to engage with and start conversations with. You can drive so much traffic to your profile by doing this if you pick the right accounts. Again, it's going to be varied, because if you just want traffic to your account, go for big players and go for early comments. So, your mindset pages, your big creators, if you can comment on one of their posts with being one of the top 3 comments, you could probably double your profile visits like overnight. It's that simple to do, because they're big. They're going to get 100,000, 200,000, million views. With that, people will check the comments. Even if 10% of those people check the comments, that's from 100,000, that's 10,000. They see you at the top. Even if another 10% of those click on your profile, you've just got 1,000 people checking out who you are from one single comment. You do that enough times every single day, it's going to be massive. Now, if it's more of a local thing, you want to be doing it to local creators, local businesses, local councils, anything that people are going to be reading, local news, because again, if they view the video, if they look at the post, they want to see what other people are thinking. It's the whole reason they've gone onto socials, to check the news. They want to see what's happening, what are other people thinking, and then chances are they'll click on your profile, see, oh, he's actually based closely where I am, or he's actually based in Birmingham. I'll shoot my follow, shoot my DM, see if I can get a table or something like that. So never overlook the power of reaching out as a local business to other local businesses or other local creators, and definitely don't overlook engagement, because if you do this right on the right platforms at the right time and get in early on some creators' accounts, it can be massive for you. Especially, and if you look at TikTok as well, a lot of big creators will create videos around the comment in the comment section. So don't just go around shooting emojis at every single one. Put some thought into it. It's much better for you to do 10 comments where you've actually thought about what you're saying than shooting out 50 emojis on every single creator's posts, because some people might like it, most people are going to scroll past because you've not provided anything to the actual content. And then the final one is communication. Now, of course, if you're running your own socials, you'll just be speaking to your team. Solo, you'll just be speaking to yourself, like I do 99% of the time. But you want to be focusing on, if you're doing it for clients, is just keeping them up to date, because you can be doing loads of things in the background, especially at this pre-setup stage, because you're not posting the content yet. You're getting everything set up, you're getting the system set up, you're creating the content to get ready to post. Just keeping the client up to date, asking the client questions. Are you running this? Do you have any offers that you do? Can you send me this piece of content, whether you're filming it yourself or whether you're getting the client to film it. Just making sure you're keeping up with that communication, because you could be doing everything in the world, but if you're not speaking to them and you're not keeping them up to date, they don't know what you're doing. So, but that's mainly for, again, if you're another social media manager. And then the final sort of talking point for this one is just the systemized client onboarding. The more clients you take on, what I've found massive about doing this case study, that main reason I want to do the lives is so I've got something to refer back to. Main reason I'm doing recordings every single day is building up a systemized onboarding sort of checklist. Because if you've got tons of recordings already, and you're used to working with clients that have got tons of recordings already, you're used to having that big back catalogue. Whereas if you're working with somebody who's not got a single piece of social media content, never posted before, not got any presence online whatsoever, it's going to be completely different. You're going to have different clients or different people or different ways of doing things. If you're running a social media on Instagram and you decide, oh, our Instagram's doing pretty well, we're now going to repurpose onto X, having systems in place already for that, or even speaking to somebody who's already got systems in place ready for that, could save you so much time. Because rather than you taking on a completely different platform and not knowing where to start, not knowing what the posting rate is, how you engage, how you find people, how you convert, it's going to be difficult, and it can be overbearing, and you might not see any returns for the investment you're putting in because you're not understanding the nuances and the differences between the platforms. So trying to set up those systems or speaking to somebody that's got those systems already set up can be very beneficial and save you so much time, but even if it's just for the first 30 to 90 days whilst you're getting introduced to the platform, getting the key systems in place of how you turn in the videos into written, turn the writtens into posts, and then finding what posts work best and then repurposing those into video as well. It's going to be a big time saver for somebody when you've got somebody who's already done it. And as I mentioned for myself, I like being able to refer back to what I've done for previous clients. That system worked really well, so I'll keep that system in place. Then as you do it for the next client, it's good to then be able to improve it, to then be able to say, okay, that worked well that time, it didn't work well this time, what were the differences and how do I improve it so it works for both type of avatars or both type of clients? So does it work well for the clients with content? Does it work well for the clients without content? How can I switch that up? Again, I are massive when it comes to clients. I haven't got a massive amount of content already created, because you can just get recording lists sent over to them. You can create content pretty much from just a couple of words on a screen or a couple of screenshots from their website. I always huge for finding these systems, but also documenting as well. That's, again, the big reason for this case study, so I can document everything and find out exactly what has worked, what isn't working, and so on and so forth. So that was just the pre-setup, really. This is like before any content is posted. This is just making sure that you're optimizing the profiles, optimizing the systems in the best way possible to give you the best chance for when you do start posting. As an update of right now, I have officially started posting for the client today. We've done 2 posts, story posts, highlight, everything like that is set up. So now the big push is mainly going to be those daily sort of tasks of constantly engaging, scheduling the posts, seeing what's worked, and then reviewing on a weekly basis. So final sort of sign off from myself, there'll still be 2 lives each week. One will be about the new trends that are happening within the social media marketing space, and then the other one will be an update and a sort of run through of what I've been doing for my client, how you can use it yourself, and yeah, just updates along the way. So I appreciate anybody that's watched this, and I'll catch you guys next time.